It's
Yeah.
like I'm hearing myself now.
See, that's what I was telling you. So that's
Oh,
yes, we
okay. So
have.
this is what you did.
Yeah.
You went to the audio and then you changed.
So let me fix it for you. Said you hear yourself. Let me try to see.
Yeah, you changed the output audio.
Okay. What about now?
Now I don't hear myself now.
Okay, better. All right then. So
But you didn't change my mic, right?
no, I didn't change it. This is good now.
Okay.
Now
Because
you don't hear
roadcaster,
yourself. That's what we need because I was hearing myself too. So that's
yeah.
what we need. So remember, we live. We live. We live. How's everybody? And this is the technology. That's what happened when you're going live.
Oh,
And so that's what we wanted. We wanted to make sure the challenge and the struggle being live. And so while we're waiting for you guys to join in, and then how you guys doing today? How you guys doing today? How's Felix? How you doing?
I'm doing great, Isaac. How are you?
I'm doing great. I apologize, everyone. I don't know if
Yeah.
anybody already tuned in when we were trying to go live earlier, and so I had some difficulty in my thing. I was trying to go live on Instagram at the same time, so it gave us some little hiccup. So
Yeah. So Isaac, just to put this out here to everybody who's watching, I know this can be inconvenient for a lot of people, but like I was telling you, that this first week there's going to be lots of ups and downs, right? Because we're
definitely,
still trying to figure all the things out. And then the second week, hopefully, we have everything set. So when we jump on live, we provide a good show to everybody and people
yeah,
can actually enjoy, right? So please bear with us if you're watching this or watching the replay. Just understand that technical difficulties is always going to come up this first week. And then as
yes,
time goes, things are
and
going to get better.
time as well. We're gonna be,
Yeah.
respect the time. We're gonna be
Mhm.
5 p.m. so Eastern time, so like everybody can know
Yeah.
this is where we're gonna be live. All right.
Uh-huh.
So before we talk about the topic today, yesterday we are talking about forgiveness, but today is day number 4. Day number 4 at 365 challenge. Hey, we still ain't gone
Oh,
to
yeah.
eh?
Showing up every day. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't give up yet. So that's the goal.
Yeah.
Day number 4 and 365 challenge. So today we're gonna talk about building trust after infidelity. So yesterday we talked about forgiveness,
Hmm.
and that was like another topic kind of relevant to what we talked about yesterday. And today we're
Yeah.
going to be a great topic, guys. I want you guys to stay tuned and stay tuned. Just let's do the intro, huh?
Let's do it, Isaac. Let's
Let's
do it.
go. All
We're
right.
already late, so let's not keep people waiting.
So
All right.
because I was waiting for you guys
So,
to join. Who is on live now?
uh
Perfect.
Isaac,
Mhm.
tell us what day it is, what we're talking about today, and then we'll do the intro and then move forward.
All right, today
Yeah.
the number 4, as we said, and the
Yeah.
title of our topic today is
Mm.
building trust after infidelity. And
Right.
so it's building trust after infidelity is a really a challenging and delicate process, right?
True.
That requires commitment,
Hmm.
patience, and open communication from both partners. And this is a topic that really sensitive and kind of heavy a little bit to talk about, right? And we'll try
Hmm.
to begin and we'll try to come with some approach that can help you guys. Is that ever happened to you? If you have to accept someone, that cheated on you, and if you want to save your marriage, if you want to, if your marriage is worth saving, right? So
Hmm.
stay tuned. And before we give you the approach and the guidelines that might help you save your relationship after infidelity. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's the intro.
Let's go. Let's go.
The intro. Yes, that was a quiet intro.
I
So,
love the intro, Isaac.
Yes, yes,
Good
yes.
work. Good work creating that graphics. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome you back again to day number 4 of 365. As you guys know, our plan is to be able to share with you guys some form of entertainment, some wisdom, and a few other things that will keep you excited. And in today's video, Isaac has a very interesting topic that he wants to share with you guys that we are both going to be able to discuss, right? But before we get into that, if you're new to this channel or if you're watching for the first time, please remember to subscribe, like, or share this video with somebody whom you think might enjoy this kind of content so that they don't miss the next few videos that we're going to be shooting moving forward,
Like,
right?
subscribe and share.
Def- Definitely. Yeah. And with that being said, we're going to get straight to the point since we're already late. So, Isaac, today's topic is infidelity. So, what is infidelity? Can you define what infidelity is and let the audience know what your thoughts are?
So, actually, before I define, I just give like
Mhm.
a definition of infidelity. I think it's
Yeah.
best to define what trust is first,
Right.
right? So,
Mhm.
remember the title is building trust after infidelity, and I believe trust is believing and relying on someone because you think they are honest. Remember yesterday when I was saying sometimes
Right.
some people that are supposed to be there on your life, and these are the people that kind of hurt you, like to come back and
Hmm.
seek some forgiveness, right?
Yeah.
And so you kind of dependable on and have a good intention those people, right? So because trust is believing, relying on someone because you think they are honest, dependable, and have good intention.
True.
So um, it is a crucial part on building a strong relationship. So now, if you wanna define infidelity, so infidelity is breaking the trust. So see, that's why I define the trust first, right? So
Hmm.
you trust that person, and then now the person break that trust. You know, the person break that trust and is breaking the trust in a committed relationship. So something that you agree open up, right? By being can be romantically or sexually involved with someone else, which is really important. So some people don't know about the cheating. There's some topic we're gonna be talking about, right? So you is considering cheating or breaking a commitment when the other partner, which is important, doesn't know about it, or didn't agree about it.
Right.
Do you understand? Yeah. So
Hmm.
so there's some key points for that. Let's say an example right now. If we say, yeah, oh, you already put up these slides, huh? I thought that we were gonna put it this slide, but that's fine. To see that will help. And then
Hmm.
so for the approach, because I remember that we discussed some points, some key points that can help you guys, and so I think after somebody cheated on you, it becomes something that you really have. It creates something like a great courage and a lot of things to accept the fact and to move on, or to know also whether you want to save that relationship first. That's why I like to
Right.
say. And after all this thing happen, and the first question I always ask myself, is that worth saving, right? So if
Hmm.
okay, all right, then this is a great marriage, or maybe the fault was maybe I got a part of this, or maybe there's some stuff we're learning from that. And I remember what I said yesterday that I forget what to do because I know you're gonna be talking, right? So
Yeah,
remember,
definitely. Yeah.
this is one point that I know for myself. I cannot accept, I don't know if it is like something about us men. I don't feel about ego. It is something I know for sure
Uh-huh.
I cannot agree on, right? And then I cannot forgive somebody. I mean, I forgive you. I cannot accept to leave a woman that cheated on me. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
but for some people, it worth saving that. You know what I mean? Because I always
True.
believe like, okay,
So
the moment. Mhm. Go ahead.
Isaac, sorry, let me interrupt you for a
Yeah.
second.
Mhm,
So, speaking of trust and infidelity,
mhm.
would you consider, say, somebody who, let's say, somebody who goes on Instagram, right? Let's
Yeah.
say a married person or somebody in a relationship, they go on Instagram, and then they start looking at other pictures, like beautiful pictures of either other women or other men, right? Depending on the gender. When they do that, would you consider that infidelity, or is that something normal?
There's that's a good question. There's so
Yeah.
many things on that, right?
Hmm.
Let's say your partner, your significant other, is
Right.
working with people, right? And they, let's say an example, for myself, I work with talents, and
Hmm.
it will be normal for me to be
Yeah.
talking to ladies, sometimes looking for models or stuff like that, right?
Right.
But if you're a woman, doesn't have to do, doesn't have, she's not, photographer, she's not, in the showbiz,
Hmm.
and start looking some sexy men, you're gonna have to answer some questions about it. And also cheating is depends on the level. Like, you will know it because if they start communicating, right? They start talking and they said, you know what?
Hmm.
And the guy said, okay, do you have a boyfriend or do you have somebody? And they said,
Yeah.
it depends. Although I don't know. No, we don't have. Now it's already, something else. Or would you
Hmm.
like to go, like, meet for a coffee or on a date or something?
Right.
Let's get to know each other. So for what? You know what I mean? So you don't
So,
want to, at the same time, you don't want to be like the kind of man that, shriek and, it's the 21st century, but at the same
mhm,
time, you have some boundaries that you need to discuss. And we're going to be talking about that later too with your,
right.
right? Yeah.
So yeah, I know we'll get to the point. Like we have, 10 approaches to building trust after
Yeah.
infidelity. But before we get into that, Isaac, I do also have
Mm.
another scenario that I want to paint, or kind of like a question. So as we know, men are more visual creatures, right? Like men, when they see something beautiful or a beautiful woman or something beautiful, they just can look, right?
Yeah.
That is men. And
Mm.
then women, they're not visual creatures like men. Women are more emotional creatures. So when it comes to men, so let's say a man sees a beautiful lady, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's looking, and then he fantasizes without acting on that. Now, would you also consider this scenario infidelity, or is this a normal thing for men?
So if I understand, see if
Mhm.
just the woman just look at
Uh,
women.
No, men, like I was saying,
Yeah.
women are more emotional, right? Like let's say when they want to get involved
Yeah.
in most things, there's emotion that comes to it. But
Mm-hmm.
with men, let's say if a man sees a beautiful lady, a man is most definitely going to look, right?
Um,
So when a man looks and then starts to fantasize, what would you consider that? Is that infidelity, or is that something normal?
hopefully, your wife is not watching this. Actually,
Yeah.
l-
Uh,
yeah, I don't know. We try to develop when you are working with your woman, and then whatever beautiful girls,
mhm.
whatever woman that is passing, your heads have to be straight up. You can't even turn back, my friend.
No,
This is
listen.
gonna.
No, here's the thing. I'm not saying
Yeah,
I'm not.
it,
So look
it,
at it this way,
it's not
because you're
wrong.
not.
Yeah,
There's times when, let's say, for example, even in your industry, let's say you go out working, right?
yeah,
And then there's so much beauty in this universe.
yeah.
So my question is, and as knowing that men are more visual creatures, and then they can always look, and sometimes they fantasize, right?
Um, it depends.
Hmm.
Like, for me, an example, I try to, even on my work of line, my line
Uh-huh.
work, even everybody that I work with can tell you that I try
Yeah.
not to mix pleasure and whatever thing with,
Hmm.
business, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm working with a talent, I know it's professional, right? So I'm
Hmm.
not gonna even fantasize or even thinking about anything else, and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
to me in my head, it's not gonna be a question just to even think about it. But sometimes, you might
Yeah.
even find somebody that you see attractive because human, right? But
Right.
but I have way to control myself. Okay, you already have somebody or the commitment, so you
Okay.
just don't even think about it. You know what I mean? And
Uh-huh.
to answer your question, so like if you consider cheating, so when you start dreaming and thinking, now it's cheating because like if you have somebody else, right? So it Um, I don't know if you can say there's a level of cheating, because some
Is
people say,
this question putting you on the spot?
yeah, 'cause some people say, like, some people say,
Yeah.
you can, the moment you think about it, even the Bible said that the moment you think about it,
Uh-huh.
you imagine yourself doing it, it's already a sin, right? And
Uh-huh.
um, so if you think about, sleeping with somebody, and then while you have somebody or there's somebody else, of course, it's
Mhm.
cheating. So now let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back.
Sorry, Isaac, there's one thing that I want to share too.
Yeah,
You mentioned the Bible. So
yeah,
someone like King Solomon,
yeah.
do you think that was normal for him to have that kind of abundance? Like 700 concubines and a whole bunch of wives.
It's it's all depend on the time, right? Because it
Hmm.
was at that time, it was allowed to have many women, right? And
Right.
you have allowed, yeah, what, people were even Muslim, they allowed to have four women, and
Uh-huh.
it's all dependent on the culture. Some cultures also in Africa. I'm pretty sure in Uganda, from Uganda, right? The polygamy also exists, right?
Like, yeah, the African tradition,
Yeah,
that's common. Yeah.
yeah. So as long as, that's what I said, as long as both people agreed. But for King Solomon, this guy was, I wanted to be in this guy's shoes, but we had a different world right now. Hopefully, my wife.
Let's focus. Don't digress.
So King Solomon was somebody else, and then which is really interesting with
Yeah.
this, the King Solomon
Uh-huh.
and him is, despite, he had all those women, but none
Uh-huh.
of them, like all of them, get along together, which is
Right.
really interesting. So I don't even think this could be possible right now, and but that was the best part of it, right? So let's go back. So now,
Okay.
if you see yourself, you wanna save your marriage, and it worth saving, and you're willing to, okay, you know what, we both screwed up, or maybe you screwed up, it's maybe she come to you after, like, things happen. And before I
Hmm.
say that, because remember, I always tell people, if a woman cheats on you, and then
Right.
you figure out, I mean, you're the one that, catch her, like, you're the one that, like, finds out that cheating, I don't think that
Uh-huh.
woman deserve a um a second chance. What do you think? Because remember,
Um,
like, if you didn't catch her, she was not gonna come to you and approach to you, like, and say, okay, apologize, whatever thing, So
mhm.
that's why, and condition like that, you have to look at um the way the person or the partner cheated. Is there love involved? Is there, like, is it a one-time thing? Like, is it like, remember that a man can cheat sometimes, most of the time, what we say, but I don't want to say that. Some people gonna, say so many things. Most of the time, a man can cheat just to have sex,
Okay.
but a woman, the moment a woman cheats on you, she no longer loves you anymore. That's
Yeah.
why I know that I cannot be with a woman that cheated on me, because I know the love is gone. There's
Because
nothing
of
there.
there's emotion involved, right?
Because women, like, they're not gonna cheat or having, like, because first they have to have a connection, emotion. They
Mhm.
have to start dating the person, that going out, like, talking to each other, like, stuff like that to the guy, and texting, or blah blah blah, all those stuff. But for
Uh,
men, just one time thing, the boom boom with somewhere, boom, like, okay, hopefully
right.
there's no kids watching this.
But when you're married,
Yeah,
then those kind, like, it's like those things are off limits, right? You have to stay committed,
of
which
course,
is the joy of marriage. But
that's the thing. Like,
you
mhm.
sorry to interrupt you. You mentioned that like if a woman cheats, it basically means she's forgotten about you, basically, right? Because when emotions are involved, that means
Remember what? Yeah.
to
Go
to
ahead.
a good degree, it means like the things that she used to enjoy about you, she might not have that anymore, right? And now she's sharing that with somebody else.
Okay.
But like you said, for men, it's more pleasure.
Okay, let's an example, right?
Right. Hmm.
Your relationship is going upside down,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
And maybe you guys don't talk to each other. You guys don't even try to seek counselors or something, right?
Hmm.
And then so and then it come to a point that relationship become um there's a no return point. You know what I mean?
Right.
So sometimes it's kind of difficult for like it can be easy for somebody to get tempted. Maybe one
Hmm.
fault. Or sometimes bad environment, bad companies, and then let's say she's like you're not treating her well, and or maybe like she's fed up, or maybe she fed up with you, she's like mad or whatever thing it is. And I'm not saying it's the reason for you to cheat, right? And then she has some
Yeah.
friends that let's go out, let's have a drink, you know, and then some crazy thing happened this world, maybe like with too many drinks, maybe some people even put some drugs in your thing, whatever thing, right? And
Hmm.
that when something happened. So in this scenario, um, you're gonna have to see okay, what is her position? Does she regret? Does she have remorse? Does she still love you? You know what I mean? Those kind of
Right.
things, right? And then so
Hmm.
once that happen, and if she's regrets that and she wanna save that marriage, and then now how you think you can heal from that? And this is the part that I said they have to have some boundaries, right? An example, if you're on a couple with somebody, you find a relationship, I don't think your wife can just decided to go some places without even your consent, right? Eh?
Exactly.
Yeah. So the moment that boundary that this thing didn't respect, to me is already like a is a red flag, right? So now when you decide to okay, you know what, people make mistake, and or maybe kids involved, so many reasons can be, you know what I mean? So sometimes you have so many
Hmm.
things like you don't even, you can leave that person, but you're gonna have somebody else almost the same thing. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
you want to give that person a second chance. So once that happens, this is where now the topic is gonna be how can you like heal from that? How can you forgive that person? And that's why we're
Hmm.
talking about this step. And so as I
Right.
said, when this thing happened,
You know,
so go ahead.
yeah, Isaac. So you're
Mhm.
talking about like how can someone heal from infidelity, right? I know we have 10 ways to heal from that, but before we get into that,
Mhm.
how do people get to that point of getting involved, like becoming an infidel?
Uh, as
Yeah.
I was kind of trying to highlight a little bit, right?
Hmm.
So many reasons, right,
Hmm.
can cause a woman or a man to cheat, right?
Hmm.
Let's say an example, you have a relationship, you guys in the house, there's no communication, you guys don't date, you guys don't spicy the marriage, you guys don't even like go out on a date all the time, you guys don't do activities together, you
Yeah.
guys don't maybe like financial problems, maybe some maybe the one of the person also mm, like never listen, or maybe one of the guy, maybe some guys also always go out with their friends, they don't have time for the women, and
Hmm.
maybe also like many reasons can happen, right?
Yeah.
So now some people they don't, based on like a moral value, right?
Yeah.
They don't know like they don't know how to respond to that.
Okay.
Because for some people, you had this relationship doesn't work, let's
Hmm.
drop it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But for some, and
Yeah.
you just fall, right? So when that
Hmm.
happen, and you gotta have to figure it out, okay, like where there's a mistake. So that's why I said many things can cause that. There's not only like a fitted all thing. Like it can be so many aspects that can cause cheating. But
That's
like
true.
I said, it cannot be a reason for you to cheat because the person is not treating you well. You know what I mean? So if you're
Right.
not happy in a marriage, whatever thing it is, just like just what's it, this thing doesn't work, right? But sometimes
Hmm.
will stay because of kids or whatever thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like to answer
Okay.
back, so when that happens, so let's get on the key points before like everybody just left to say we talk too much. So now you decided to say this wedding, this marriage, wanted to get to marriage, and then so I think yeah, I think you're in trouble.
So Isaac, sorry for putting you on this part. Let one other thing. So let me share this on the screen. Okay, I'm gonna share this with you. So
Ah,
this image here,
come on.
right? This image here. Now, I, so the reason I share this is because we're going to get into talking about like how can you rebuild trust
Yeah,
after someone does these kind of things to you. Now, the people who lived through the 90s, they do understand what happened between these three, right? So
yeah.
basically, do you know what happened, Isaac?
So this is a different topic right now. Okay. So do you know this is a political there's so many things behind
No,
that.
Isaac, no, forget politics.
Okay. Remember what I was saying?
This has to do with trust and infidelity and going outside your marriage, right? Which is something that we're talking about right now.
Yeah, okay. Remember what I was telling you that
Yeah.
if you have so many things to lose,
Uh-huh.
so it's worth saving that.
Right.
So Hillary Clinton, she has to be mature enough to see, okay, she has much more to lose
Mm-hmm.
than let this little stupid or mistake,
Yeah.
just like, make her like lose everything, right?
Okay.
So you can even see the story today, even though the guy, I don't know if he's still still cheating or not. This is their life. But you can see
Mm-hmm.
that there was a process of healing and forgiveness
Definitely.
and there, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she forgets about it,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure she never forget.
No.
But it teaches you, okay, um, there are some relationship, there are some marriage, some stuff worth saving, right? And as I
True.
told you, like remember, like some men's, some men when things happen like that, I'm not trying to be to defend women, to defend men, right? Sometimes
Uh-huh.
we do things not because of feeling or whatever thing, it's just because they desire and let's do it, right?
Right.
So now that's what happens. Now after this, I'm pretty sure, since the point.
Yeah.
So when this happened, you decided to save. So you gotta have to have a open communication.
Definitely.
So number one is open communication. So I believe you have to be honest and to be open with that. You know what I mean? So I believe both partners need to express their feeling. To know is is there still love there? Because sometimes you get hurt, right? And but you
Mm-hmm.
still love the person.
Yeah.
So now, can you live without that person? Oh, of course,
Mm-hmm.
everybody can live without the person, right? Or is there any chance that person can change? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So once you guys discuss about it, and then remember, like when open relationship, open communication, what I said, open communication. So you have to make sure there is no blaming. So you don't accuse the other one. You don't accuse each other. It's
Yeah.
okay because of your fault. Let's say like the let's say your significant other, like your woman, cheated or something. She has remorse and come to you. She's crying, and you can feel that, there was something, and deep down you wanna save this marriage, and deep down, so you have so many, like it can be financial, it can be kids, everything. So and you wanna give it a second thought or second chance. So
Uh-huh.
first you have to go through those process to know whether it's gonna work. And then that's why now you're gonna have to have the open communication, not to blame each other. And then so
Right.
what that happening, and then so now you going to find counselors, seek professional help. you know so what do you think about seeking professional help in that one? Because we know for especially for black people, is like some most of the time for us
Mm-hmm.
seeking professional help, they always take is a taboo.
It Yes, that I completely agree, right? And obviously, Isaac, like every marriage or relationship at some point goes through that that stage whereby feels like things are gonna fall apart because of differences, right? I was speaking to a wise lady a while back. She told me that in a relationship, there's always stages, right? There's gonna be the honeymoon stage, and then there's gonna be that stage whereby it's like two different people with two different habits. They come together and then they start living together, right? So now what happens is, because all these two people have grown up differently, either culturally or their habits might be different, and then finding that balance. To find that balance whereby both coexist becomes a bit of an issue, whereby there's always going to be fights and conflicts here and there. Now, what these two people can do in any relationship, what could happen is, you can either say, okay, we need to find a way to make this work, or both can give up and say, you know what, you're too different, my ways are different, we can't get along. And
Yeah.
that's where this issue, that's where sometimes people go outside their relationship and then do things that they shouldn't do, right? But people who take the time to say, you know what, maybe we can't seem to find a common ground, let's seek professional help, right? By so doing, you're going to get, somebody who does this for a living, and they'll tell you, okay, you know what, this is what's happening in your relationship. If you try and do ABCD, or if you look at your relationship from this angle, then you'll somewhat understand what you need to do, right? So
So to
so based on what,
Mhm.
based on what this wise person told me, right, understanding the difference and also seeking help from somebody to help you see how two people are different will help you understand your relationship, and will help you, approach, how you get along
Yeah. So
in a
that's what I
better
was,
way,
yeah, that's what I
right?
was saying. Like, once
Mhm.
you have open communication,
Yeah.
so and let's say if you cannot have that open communication, so like when you get to seek professional help, they will
Uh-huh.
help you. They, because they train for that, to see how you can communicate better in your relationship. You know what I mean?
Right.
And most of the time, this is one of the issue we have in our community. But it might be different, a bit different. We intend not to have a certain communication. Like, there's something missing. I don't know.
Yeah.
We um most of the time, I don't know if it is like something our most black women brought up. I don't know, they were gonna kill me after that live.
Uh-huh.
And communication always, some debate communication always, most of the time, even 70% time, turn to an argument. It's just because it's not because they cannot communicate. I think because they don't know what argumentation is. You know what I mean? And that's one of the
Right.
problems you see. And when, if you cannot open, you cannot communicate properly with your spouse, and there will always be misunderstanding. You know what I mean? And that's why seeking
Hmm.
professional help will help after that, right? Remember, we're still after the cheating phase, right? How to build that.
Hmm.
When somebody cheated on you, okay, the trust is gone, but you still want to save it, and you still want to give it a second thought. Okay, let's work towards it. Let's work to see if we can fix that. Maybe you can
Hmm.
help our kids. Let's say if you have 3, 4, 5 kids with somebody, and
Yeah.
like the kids are young, and most of the time when kids are living without both parents, uh,
Hmm.
they never have the chance to go like really well. Something always happen. Either something,
Yeah.
there's something, right?
Yeah, it's
And
definitely good to have both parents involved
yeah.
in raising their kids, right? Yeah.
So now, when
Um.
the person now, right now, okay, she feels okay. We talk about all those kind of thing, and then now she feels she's like she has remorse and express remorse and apologize, and she apologized. So that's why we come to express like remorse and apologize, right? So once you see that, so the partner the partner who's cheated should uh, express remorse, right? They should take
Definitely.
responsibility for the action, right?
Hmm.
So let's say somebody cheated, you don't say anything. It's like nothing never happened, or I found out, so there's no remorse there. You know what I mean? So I'm not
Hmm.
weak. This is the gun. You know what I mean? Those are the things you cannot say. But if you see the person feel guilty, like this is like the person feel like, oh, this is the worst thing that I ever done. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is that guilty because that thing happened, but guilty because she break that trust. You know what I mean?
Right. Hmm.
And so we'll see all those things, and then if now you're gonna find out, okay, does she still love you, and so that's why I said, as long as you see all those, and you try to give it another chance with all the portion there, and then
Hmm.
once that happens, you have to
Yeah.
establish boundaries. So you have to make sure. So it's not step number 4, right? You have to
Yeah.
make sure, okay, this thing won't repeat again, right? It's okay, this is what happened. You guys did this in the past. This is what happened. You did. This is you've been going out with your friends that I don't like. You've been clubbing, without me, blah blah blah, and you've been drinking, blah blah blah. So you gotta set those boundaries.
Right.
You wanna save it. So now, if you don't set any boundaries, of course, it's gonna be repetitive. So it's going to happen again, right? So
Yeah.
once you set the boundaries, and then so in those boundaries there has to be consistency, transparency. So you have to be like
Hmm.
clear about it. So now everything has to be transparent. Like you're not gonna say, okay, like back in the right now everybody has the password, nobody know your password, nobody can get your phone, because remember, the trust is gone, right? The trust is
Yeah.
gone.
True. True.
You're not gonna go and then check your phone, whatever, or check my phone. But there's have to be transparency. Listen, my phone, I leave it on everywhere. So my wife can even open my phone anytime. If somebody call
That's
me,
trust.
you know what I mean? If I'm busy, she
Yeah.
can open my messages, stuff like that. But if I'm hiding something, there's no way. You know what I mean? So, you know, so that's
It
when it
would be
comes.
hard being in a relationship whereby you have to hide everything like that, right?
No, people
And
doing
that's
that.
where
No,
people
no,
start questioning what's going on. Why are you hiding your phone? Why are you hiding, things
no.
like that?
Actually, people doing it now. They said, okay, this is my privacy. This is my thing. Just to say, okay.
Hmm.
But I believe once you get to that level of marriage, you no
Yeah.
longer, like you become one, right? So,
True.
but this is a privacy. Of course, I'm not gonna go to her phone to see who's calling. But let's say an example, somebody, okay, calling, because
Hmm.
my wife, she knows I don't even pick up her phone. Somebody's calling, I don't care. But if she's okay,
Yeah.
okay, my phone, can you pick up? Yeah, no problem. Or even though if I'm busy, oh, can you reply the person? Sometimes, most of the time, I'm busy. She said, okay, can you? I didn't have a
Mhm.
chance to reply the person. Can you just tell the person, okay, I'm gonna call you back?
Yeah.
Because you don't have anything to hide. That's why I said consistency, transparency has to be there. After you guys, stuff like that. And then, so the next slide. So patience and understanding. You want to talk about it, or you want me to? Mm.
Definitely. So anybody who is going through, this situation whereby they feel like somebody got involved with someone else, right? It's definitely a tough spot to be in. And sorry, which one was that, Isaac?
The patience and understanding. So what I'm thinking about this one is
Patience and
understanding, right? So
yeah.
because remember, like after this, all this thing, the trust is gone. So you
Hmm.
have to build gradually that, right? So
Yes.
it's something you're not gonna heal over like in one day. It takes time to heal, right? It's so the other partner that cheated on you, she has to understand it's not gonna be normal like right away. Do you understand? It
Yeah.
takes time. She's gonna have to be patient until you can really, really trust her again. I mean, not 100% because me, I would never trust you again, But until
It's
like,
definitely gonna take time. It's because
yeah,
trust, like once you betray trust, you have to earn that trust again, right?
yeah,
So what I recommend is if somebody trusts you, right, please do not betray that trust because it takes a long, long time and a lot of effort to gain that trust back, especially with infidelity. Like once you cross that line, it means you've really, really, really gone too far. So if you're married or if you're in a relationship, I would highly urge you and advise you not to make that mistake, right? Because the price is way too high. Like I showed you that image earlier today, Isaac, of Bill Clinton, having gotten involved and he made a mess and a big story in the media.
and
Um,
I'm pretty sure I cheated again. I don't know if anybody's listening. So
I have no clue, but it's really impressive how Hillary Clinton stood by him and was still able to forgive, and they found way to make it work, right? So it's better not to make that mistake and
yeah,
just be true to whoever you're married to or you're in a relationship with, so you don't suffer the consequences in that respect. So what you said earlier today, Isaac, like open communication, seeking professional help, and being able to apologize and feeling remorse, right? When you make this mistake is definitely going to make it somewhat easier for someone to forgive you. If they see that you truly sorry, and they truly see that you understand the mess you've created, then at least that's a first step to seeking forgiveness, right, and moving forward. And
Yeah.
then establishing boundaries. You talked about, like, Isaac, you talked about,
Mm,
some people don't want to share their password or their phones with their significant other, right? Now
yeah.
that could be a sign of, could be a sign of many things. Could be a lack of trust, or you probably could be doing things you don't want her to be,
But
you don't
sometimes
want
for
your partner to know,
what
right?
purposes too, you don't have to or you cannot, because some jobs, some like have way to
Mhm.
deal with personal like information for clients.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might not want to share that with your significant
Yeah.
other, but the fact that you
But
hide it is the fact that, okay, it's telling you
here,
already there is something you're hiding. I mean, you know.
but yeah, this is what I know, Isaac. Like, when you're in a trusted relationship, right? Like, there's always respect. So your significant other is not gonna be like, let me check your phone every single day, or let me look at your phone every single day, right? Like, when they trust you, they don't even care to look at your phone, because they know,
That's
oh,
the thing.
so
Yeah,
and so hasn't betrayed that trust. I trust them, so there's no point of looking at their phone,
and
right?
that's why
But
that's what I was gonna say.
hiding that,
That we're gonna make them. That's what I was gonna say.
hmm
The moment you start hiding your phone, this is where the time the women gonna start questioning. Okay, why is it phone? Let me go check. So they while
yeah,
you're sleeping, they put your finger or your hand,
true,
stuff like.
yeah.
And then also,
So
well, don't forget what I was gonna say. Eh? Go ahead.
yeah, no, I was gonna say, let's. I want you to explain the last point, like consistency and
Yeah.
transparency. Yeah,
No, yeah, we already did that one already. So like now
you
the
did, right?
patience and understanding. Yeah. So now we're on
Mhm.
patience and understanding. So like so once you become
Yeah.
consistent and like transparent, there's no hiding, there's no stuff,
Hmm.
and then now you guys have to be patient to know, okay, um, it's gonna take time for us to heal. And as I
Right.
said, if a woman, this is me, I don't know,
Uh-huh.
like I always say, once a woman cheats, she always cheat. She will always cheat. So if a woman cheat on you once, you forgive her, she will cheat again.
Hmm.
Um, because I know some lot of women will kill me about this when I say that. Because first of all,
Yeah.
women they, from nature they know once you cheat. Okay, when a woman cheat, she she has to do it in a way you never know. You cannot find out. The moment a woman let to find out about cheating, that means she knows she only have another option because they are
Yeah.
smart. Women are really smart, my brother.
Very,
They
very.
will not let you find out if they have somebody else unless they want to end that relationship. So now, if you become too weak and accept to forgive that person, and she will see you as a like as a weak person, as a weak man, and later on she
Hmm.
will cheat again. She might even leave you
Right.
because she knows already in like in back of your head you don't trust her anymore. That trust,
Hmm.
and she will decide to leave. And maybe she doesn't leave. It's just because probably the guy changed his mind. I'm gonna
Yeah.
change his mind. Right? Sometimes the guy say, "Okay, you know what? I'm gonna be there for you. Just leave this man, and then I'll be there." So the moment she decided to leave you for the guy, and
Hmm.
then the guy said, "No, no, no, I was just joking. I'm not ready for this thing." So now she's
Right.
trying to come back, right? So that's why we gotta be careful and those kind of things, right? So that's what I said.
Hmm.
And to add, if it worth saving, because
Right.
me personally, I will not forgive, but I'm talking about for the people that wanna save it.
Uh-huh.
So now once,
Obviously.
yeah, so once you decide you want to save it, and then
Yeah.
so you have to have self-reflection, to we both should take time to reflect on yourself, like do self-reflection to know, okay,
Yeah.
what did go wrong? You know
Hmm.
what I mean? How did we get to where we are right now? You know what I mean? Is there
Yeah.
anything else we can do to change that? You know what I mean? So
Right.
um once you get to all the self-reflection thing, and then now you'll be able to address the root that caused that problem. So remember that whenever like there's something, a problem, you don't you don't find out. Remember, I'm a scientist, right? Chemistry. You have to find out what is the cause of that problem. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Find out
Hmm.
what's the cause, and you can address it, and you can try to fix it. This is how you're gonna heal. You guys gonna have a better relationship. But if you don't find the cause and you don't try to address it, you don't try to change it to know, okay, the fault maybe might be me, maybe I wasn't attentive enough, maybe I wasn't there for her, maybe like I didn't take her out too many times, maybe I was like, being lazy, being not a gentleman, or so many options can be, right? So now when you have
Hmm.
reflection and she has self-reflection, so that's how you guys can move forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
true.
like really important. And then that's what come to yesterday topic. And once all those steps and about forgiveness, you know. So
Yeah.
this is the crucial component, the crucial element like in relationship. So this process is the process that to me it takes time. To me, it's really hard. You know what I mean? Me, I will forgive you. I'll be gone.
So,
I'll forgive you.
Isaac,
Yeah, but I'm
um,
you
it
know.
depends. Obviously, it depends, right? Like earlier, you said it depends on what's at stake, right?
Yeah,
Let's say if there's kids involved,
yeah,
if there's a lot of things involved. For example, how you said, how we looked at, Hillary Clinton and Bill, right? There's a big stake, and when children are involved and other things involved, that's going to determine like whether people will try to resolve that issue. You know,
before,
again, we talked about forgiveness. So we're talking about forgiveness yesterday, right?
yeah,
Now, there's levels and degrees to forgiveness depending on what caused the issue. Some
yeah.
things are some people will feel like this is unforgivable, that they can't forgive such a thing. But then some people will easily forgive. So in relationships, to truly
No, that's what I'm saying. You will forgive, eh?
to
You will forgive, but you be gone, might be
uh-huh,
gone. So okay, there's something like to add what you were saying. Let's say we have
yeah,
kids. Like me, I always pray God. I always tell God, even before that's why it take
yeah,
me time to even have kids. Even my wife knows that. I always pray God um
yeah,
to help me to give me wisdom or to choose a woman that whenever I
mhm,
have kids, I pray God
yeah.
not to have stepfather for my kids.
Oh, that I agree
You know
100%.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't want to raise any kids, or I don't want my kids to be raised by somebody else, because that person will not gonna like bring that, like the value, the training, like the experience, the
To
life
be
you want.
different.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
you don't want to have your kids in that situation. So that's why me took me time, so like to do those kind of things. But sometimes things can happen. If you want to save that, you might accept all those things,
Hmm.
but be careful when you accept those things. Are you happy? Are you just like living just for the kid and just
Hmm.
living miserably in a marriage, and then that's already gone? You know what I mean? So we're talking about here that a marriage that worth saving. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
which is like that point is, even though you forgive that person, you decided to forgive, and you never forget this. I'm telling you. But that's the point. Once you forgive, you have to find ways not to ever brought it up. This is what the most difficult thing, especially for me. That's why I cannot forgive a woman that cheat on me, because whatever sign that I see, I'm gonna have to bring it up, bro. I'm not gonna say okay, because if you want it to work, you cannot say
Yeah.
okay, maybe I did this, maybe I did that. I don't trust you know. So if I
Hmm.
need to save this, I want to just not, stuff
Yeah.
like that. So that's why I said, okay, once you figure out that, and then remember that forgiveness is not forgetting, because me, I forgive,
No,
but I forget.
true. Forgive and don't forget. Some
Yeah.
things, I say, some things, yes, you can forget, some things you don't. So, Isaac, there's a
Yeah.
lot that we can still talk about this
Oh, yeah.
topic. And what I'd really like to see is to hopefully we can bring somebody who does this for a living
Oh,
on
yeah.
this show,
That's why we're
so we
gonna
can dive deeper into, this topic.
we want to invite
Right.
some
Yeah.
psychologists, therapists, to see,
Mhm.
like, people that do counseling, stuff like that, and
Yeah.
to see a marriage counseling, even our pastors sometimes, like, we're gonna invite them. And
Exactly.
yeah. So
Yeah.
and remember to talk about the forgiveness.
Hmm.
So the moment you don't forgive, I don't think you can even build a emotional um, healing after that. Because remember that in order for you to continue, that step is inevitable. Do you understand? In order for this relationship to work, you have to forgive. Even though you try to make it work. Let's say you're trying to make this relationship work. If you cannot forgive that person, do you understand? So even though that marriage is worth saving, I don't know if you understand. Even though that marriage is worth saving, if you cannot deeply in your head forgive that person, you better let her go. Because you will not be able to create emotional healing. You will not be able to have like a normal life with that person. You will not be able to even go out to be in the bed with that person again without seeing that image of him sleeping with somebody else. I don't know if you get it, right? So, I don't think Felix is still around, but I think Felix is gone. Me, I'm just talking. Where is Felix right now? Hold on, let me add him. Just give me a second, but Felix is not here. Okay, so now let's go back to the build emotional connection, right? So, so once there is, that healing, so we build emotional connection. So we build emotional connection, and we have to spend time, quality time with the person. You have to make sure, okay, whatever thing you didn't do, you spend quality time, you go out with the person, you do activities together, you do like date. You just take her out, like you do date at home, you buy her flowers, you buy her like Gucci bags, whatever thing she desire, stuff like that. And then now once you do all this, you want to build that emotional connection again in order for you to be able to make it happen, to be able to continue that relationship. Once that emotional connection is there again, so you'll be able to make love to a woman or to your partner, to your spouse, to your husband, without even thinking that she did, because you forgive her already. And then now you build emotional connection. So remember that you cannot build emotional connection without forgiveness. And then after that, so you're going to evaluate the relationship. So you see what? This is where we were. This is where we at now. So let's continue fighting to save this marriage. And then, or if this marriage worth continue fighting, worth continue saving, because you might do all those steps before, but you still figure out that this marriage is cannot be saved. You know what I mean? So some relationship, they might not be able to save, like they might not be like salvageable. That's the word, right? So cannot be saved, cannot be saved at all. So you know what I mean? So that's why. So once you do all those steps, and then you figure out that, okay, you know what, this relationship can be saved, and let's continue working towards healing and to see how we can move forward. All right, then. So Felix is gone. I don't know what happened. Maybe some duties. That's what happened in the live. Um, so thank you for watching, guys. So remember, like to thank you for watching. Remember, I was trying to look at my other screen. If you look at me to see Felix is around, because my other screen is from here. I don't have a monitor in front of me. Either. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to share our content. Share. Like our page 365 Entertainment Magazine. So by from next week, we will bring you a different type of topic about entertainment. Don't worry, guys. It's not gonna be about relationship. We're gonna have some games. We're gonna have trivia. We're gonna have top 10. We're gonna have so many things. Trust me. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great to watch, and I hope to see you guys again. And I hope for you guys to stay tuned and stay connected to see our growth and the journey, and to be there with us. And see you tomorrow for day number 5. And may God bless you. Have a nice, wonderful night. And peace. Don't forget to like us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, 365 Entertainment Magazine. That was Isaac and Felix Oregon. Have a nice, wonderful night. Bye. Peace.